I just saw this story on my timeline and I had to make a video about it because it deals with issues that, especially we as men, have to deal with um, at some point in our life. And this story should be a reminder to every person that sees this video that it is important to always be, especially as believers, slow to anger. Okay, here we have a young man who, prior to this incident, had no felonies, no criminal record. Okay, it's a stable career, not a job, but a career. Okay, a family. I believe he's married, and all it took was one incident to basically ruin it all. The situation that happened was this man was driving. A man rear-ended him, so he pulled over to the side of the road. He got out of the car. The man that was driving is this man pictured here. It's an African American man. The man that hit him was an older white gentleman. Okay. When the when the black man got out of his car to talk to the person that hit him, the white man started screaming at him, uh, and then eventually got to the point where he called him the N word. Now at this point, this young man here took it upon himself to swing on the man. He ended up hitting him, and this is the result of that. The man is on the floor holding his head. Okay. He says here, this white man decided he wanted to call me the N word today. This was the result. This is not 1840. You will not refer to me like I am my ancestors. Lay off the Trump juice or get laid out. Now, I'm going to hit both sides. Okay. The white man is obviously a lost man, full of hatred, full of anger, and full of racism. What he did was wrong. Okay. And he was in the wrong because he's the one who rear ended the man. Okay. What he did was wicked, sinful. Now, the young black man, the young African American man, the young brother, what he did was wrong as well. What he should have done, okay, was went back to his car and waited for authorities. See, and I know a lot of black men are going to have an issue with me about this, but you need to understand something. In this life, and I had to learn this the hard way. Okay, and this story hits to me because I had the same situation happen to me when I was in high school, my senior year in high school. I remember it was after school. I was with three of my friends and a white kid that I knew. We were actually friends, me and this white kid. I had a lot of white friends. The school was predominantly white. Uh, Me and him were friends, but we had gotten into it about something. I can't remember what it was. And we were leaving the school. Me and a couple of my friends were leaving the school. We were headed out back, and this was after school, so there wasn't a lot of people there. And I got into a screaming match with my white friend, and he ended up calling me the N word. I ended up chasing him down the hallway, tackling him, and punching him. Okay, I punched him a couple times. Now, lucky for me, this kid did not report me. Okay, and no one there who saw it reported me. It never got back to the officials, the school principals, or any type of adult person within the school. So I didn't get in trouble for it. Me and the kid never talked again. But had that gotten back, that I punched this kid and gave him a busted lip, I gave him a bloody nose, I could have been expelled of my senior year. All the work I did up until that point would have been for nothing. Okay, I could have gotten arrested. Okay, this man here is about to lose everything because as he says here, he got hit with a second-degree felony assault charge. Okay, now that holds maximum penalty of up to 10 years and $25 fine. So you went from now look at this. You went from having an accident where you weren't in the wrong to now you being in the wrong. Because when the officer pulled up, this is what he saw. He saw this man on the ground holding his head. And so now you went from being the victim to being the aggressor. And that's why you were the one that left in handcuffs. See, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter at that point that this white man called you the N word. It didn't matter because you were the one who put him on his back. You're the one who hurt him. This is why James 1:19, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger. For the anger of man does not produce the righteousness that God requires. Proverbs 25:28. A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. Okay? Proverbs 16:32. Whoever is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he who rules his spirit than he who takes a city. That's what it's all about. It's about ruling your spirit. Okay? It's about ruling your feelings, your emotions. Because see, prison is full of men who can't control their emotions. That's all it is. That's all prison is. This man over here stabbed his wife. This guy over here shot his neighbor. It's all about emotions. That's it. Prison is full of men who could not control their emotions. And right here, you couldn't control your emotions. And this is why you were arrested. And right now, you are seeking help to pay for a lawyer. This is what this GoFundMe is about. You're in real trouble. You could lose everything. You could lose your job. You could lose your freedom. You could lose your family. For what? A word? Yes, words hurt. But we have to rule our minds. We have to rule them. We have to, or it'll rule you. And this is not just for this man. This is for anyone who hears this. Anytime you are in a situation, you better think first. Think. Because all it takes is one mistake. That's it. One mistake, and everything you've worked for, everything you've obtained will be taken away. I have family members, I have friends that messed up. They did one thing and it was all over. Everything they had was gone. One mistake. My great grandfather told me one thing. He used to always say, it's easy to get in trouble. It's hard to get out of it. And that's so true. That's so true. Okay. It took 5 minutes for this man to ruin his life. 5 minutes. When all he had to do was walk back to his car. Okay. Pull his phone out, record the situation, wait for the authorities to get there. The man who rear-ended him would have got a ticket, and you would have been able to go on about your business. You've got insurance, so that whatever happened to the car will be taken care of. You'd be at home right now with your wife, like nothing happened. What the man did was wrong, but you've got to think about you. You've got to think about your children. You've got to think about your wife. You've got to think about going home, okay? And there's so many people that are encouraging him and saying you did the right thing, and it's all about race. It's racism. It's racism on both ends, okay? It's racism on both ends, and this is the world without God. This is the world without God, and it's sad. It's really sad, you know. And see, I mean, you know, you could go to prison. You could become a felon. For what? Over what? At the end of the day, you're gonna say to yourself, all this for that? I could have just turned around and I'd be all it takes is one mistake. Think before you act. Think. And that's all I really want to say. That's all I really want to say. God gives and he takes away.